Hello, welcome to VRAG. Are you looking for some other games for your Nintendo Switch? You played Super Mario Odyssey, you played Breath of the Wild, you should play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'll be doing a review about that later. But you're just wanting something else. There's a bunch of games coming out, stealth releases, and some of them you've never even heard of. Just like I've never heard of Poi, Explorer's Edition for the Nintendo Switch. This game flew way under my radar, and I was looking at every Switch release that I could find. I didn't even know that this was coming out until I saw it on GameStop's shelf. Well, I picked it up, curious. It's definitely a budget title. I believe I picked it up for $29.99, and I kind of feel like that's a little too much for it. Even for a budget title, first, it's a platforming game, and it's rather simplistic. It reminds me more of like the Banjo-Kazooie games of the past, where you go into these smaller sort of open levels. Don't want to say open world because they're pretty tiny, but you go around collectathon things. It was fun at times. I'm definitely not going to say it's a bad game. If you could pick this up for $5-10 later on, it's definitely worth picking up and playing in between some bigger releases that are a lot better. It's just hard. It was hard to hold my attention with this game. I felt like if they just would have had a little bit more of a budget, or I don't know, maybe a little more creativity to make it a little different, I would have really enjoyed this game. But it just could not hold on to my attention. I got to the desert level, and it seemed... See, the desert level is where things seem to really open up. It's a lot bigger than the other levels, and it's the third world that you end up unlocking after collecting medallions. Basically, it works a lot like Super Mario's series, like 64 and Odyssey, where you go around collecting, their stars, moons. This is ribbons, or medals. And then you have to collect a certain amount to unlock the next place. The only problem is they're pretty easy to unlock, and I don't mind having a couple of easy, stars or medals to unlock in a game. But when they're all easy, it just feels like, why am I doing this type thing? There's no challenge at all. It kind of ends up getting boring. Now, I will say that there are some aspects to this game that I did find enjoyable. You're an explorer, and you have this airship as your, hub world, sort of, where you go to the different worlds. The airship itself doesn't move, but you can move it in different directions to point where you want to go. Now, this hub world actually evolves, and I thought that was pretty cool. The more people you meet in these other worlds by collecting medals, they start appearing, and you can actually jump off of your airship and fly around on this parachute and go visit them and view your collections. That stuff was pretty fun. That was actually one of my favorite parts of the game, was the hub world, and not the levels. Now, I will say, tech-wise, the graphics, it looks like a Wii game. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a bad game if it doesn't have great graphics. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, what I'll hit on my review when I come up to that is the graphics so far aren't that great. Still, really amazing game, so far at least. This game, the graphics are, like I said, Wii level. Wouldn't get too stuck on that, but with something like Wii level graphics, you would expect it to be able to handle things like particle physics in the game. There's a volcano level where when you get closer down into the volcano, it starts showing ash and particles like that. The game really slows down in that transition, to the point where 1 second there will be no particles, the next there's a ton on screen, and your character, the enemies, they just slow down. That shouldn't be happening if you have Wii level graphics on a Nintendo Switch game. It just shouldn't. So I don't know if budget came into that or just lazy developing, but all in all, if you could pick up this game, I'd say for $5. Wait, find it pre-owned. $5, it's worth picking up and playing. Anything beyond that, even for $10, it's hard to say no to a $10 game. If you're really hurting for a platformer and just want something to play, you find it for $10, I guess, but I would just pick it up for $5. If I had to give it a star rating, which I think I'll do for games when I review them, is out of 5 stars, and then do it by half segments, I would give it a 2.5. Because I would say 2 would be too low, as in, the game is starting to just be absolute trash and not just mediocre. This, at best, is mediocre, so I would say 2.5. Less than average. I would say 3 would be an average title. So, 2.5 on Poi. You can check it out if you want, but I think $30 is a little too expensive for it. But it's a cute little game sometimes. The music's really nice. That's one thing I will say as a pro in the pro and cons. The music for this game is just, I mean, Minecraft levels. You know, you play Minecraft, it's really relaxing. The music's very atmospheric. This had surprisingly good music for a budget game. So, there's always that. Well, if you, like I said, wanting to get a platformer, Poi is out there. I would only get it for $5. Thank you for watching VRAC. If there's any games coming out that you want me to review or pick up, just let me know. Comment, subscribe, like down below, and I'll check them out, do reviews on them. I think the next one I'm going to be doing is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Nintendo Switch. It will take probably a while, because I like to get pretty far, if not beat the game, to review it. Can't really sit there and give your opinion on something you didn't complete. So, I would go and say it's going to be a while before I get that review out. But I will be having more videos on my channel, and I'm going to be uploading weekly, trying to get all of my technical issues figured out. Hopefully this one doesn't have the audio sync problem my past videos have had. But if you have any comments, comment down below, let me know what you thought, and have a good day.